Hello, this is Bobby at Copel TV Repair with a functionality proof and some details about a main board for LG 47LE5500 that was bought on eBay by eBay buyer tbssilva05. And upon receiving it, they sent us the following message. No, sorry, this is the message. Hello, Mr. Bobby Koloff. I just received the LG 47LE5500-UA. I did install back the main board, but has the same problem as my board. When turned on picture LG Live's good for about 2 seconds, and then the sound for the channels. I can change channels and each one has sound but no picture. Can I send picture video? I can send picture video of the issue if you want. Do you want me to send it back to you, or how should we solve this issue? Thanks in advance. Now, after reading this, the first thing that is very apparent to me is that the main board is most likely functioning fine because it remains on after the TV is started. Channels can be changed and sound is available. This is, for this generation of LGs, a very solid indication of functioning main board. When they don't work in a different way, even though it is theoretically possible that they may still be bad with that description. However, there is additional detail, which is for 2 seconds the screen comes up and we see LG Live's good. That means the splash screen comes up and then the screen goes off. Anytime you hear about an LED in which the screen comes up for 2 seconds and then goes off and you can still change channels, etc., etc., the very first thing that you should be thinking of is the backlights. A back LED strip is working for 2 seconds, that the current that it takes gets too big, that gets detected by the LED driver. The LED driver sends back signal to the main board. It can be found somewhere on the feedback. Usually it's going to be somewhere there on the power board. In this case, since the LED driver is embedded in the power board, but it's called LED_error or LD-error. Simply put, LED controller error signal to the power board, which causes the LED driver to be shut down. Of course, it can be internally on the LED driver. Anyhow, we have 2 strong signals that the problem is not going to be on the main board. And the third one, of course, is that I know that this was tested before it was sold. So my response to the customer is this. I think you will have to send it back after making a picture of it. When we receive it, we will make a video of it working in our TV set, and this is how you will know for sure, not just having to believe me, that the board is perfectly fine and the problem is simply elsewhere in your TV. This is my diagnosis and prediction and recommended course of action. So we receive the board, customer should have a picture of it, and I'm sure they will recognize it because that is an unusual board. When we received it originally, one of the connectors was broken for the display and we had to replace it, and this is not a common picture overall, so that alone should be enough. The board was sold on the 2nd of October. This should be 2020th. Probably that was an old label somehow. I have no idea how that happened, but this is the board and it is still functioning, as you can see. And that is because the board is good and because our LED strips are also good. Now the picture may be a little fuzzy because I think the lens on that camera is not good, but as you can see, it is working. So I think we have a customer who is they're returning the board to eBay as not functioning. Frankly, there are so many signals here. You have 2 boards with the exactly same behavior. That is the first very solid, again, not 100% guaranteed signal, but if 2 boards, one yours and one from especially from a service provider, if you got it from a chop shop or your average place on eBay from a buyer porting a TV, that's another story. It may have the same common problem. But if you take it from a company that specializes in repairs, it's common sense. I mean, either those guys are incompetent or stupid or asleep. The odds of 2 boards having the exact same problem is very small if one of them comes from a store that specializes in repairing those boards. Again, it's not zero, because I know a lot of TV repair guys complain that they receive parts from Encompass that come defective, and I have seen it myself. So I'm not saying it's not possible and that you should just trust that. You should trust that video for the fact that the board is working. And it is, and it can be sent back, and it's going to do the exact same thing if it is sent back. But it won't be, because it was returned on eBay under the pretense that it doesn't work, when it in fact it does, which is why we will not be treating it as a return as a defective board, even though eBay will. And I don't like, again, being taken advantage of and being accused of supplying boards that don't work. Customers send the board with a claim and under the pretense on eBay that it wasn't working. So as I predicted, they will now know that it does, and this will explain how we will handle it. Thank you very much, and best luck in your repairs.